Hey, lovelies. Good evening. Well, it is 10 o'clock here. I'm doing this so late. But let's get into WAGs. WAGs to riches, right? So we're doing two episodes today. I'm going to do episode 2 and episode 3. So remember last episode we ended off with MJ getting arrested, right? So this episode starts off with Sherelle and Ocho Cinco, right? They're on a yacht with their kids. So I think these are all just Sherelle's kids. So Sherelle has, I think I got the amounts wrong. So Sherelle has 3 kids by herself, and then she has 1 kid with Ocho Cinco. And then she says that I think he has 7 kids by himself. So altogether they have 11. I don't know, y'all. That's way too many children. That's a lot of kids. I said, Jesus Christ. Sherelle wants to talk about the wedding, and she goes into when she first met Ocho Cinco. She just wanted to hit it and quit it. And she was married. She's been married 2 times, and for her first and second time, she was not the breadwinner. So she always told herself she would never not be in the position of not being able to take care of herself. Okay. And sorry, my dog, I wanted to go to my conference room of my apartment, but somebody was in there, and I was like, no, because this dog has been getting on my nerves all day. His energy is just nonstop. And I'm in grad school right now, so like when he sees my laptop, he just thinks that he just has beef with my laptop. Like he thinks I'm never gonna get off of it. So I think that's what the issue is. Like he would just start being passive aggressive. But if he makes noise, I promise to stop the video and pause it. But okay, so let's get into the next part. So yes, Jules meets up with Sade. And Sade is a cute girl. She said Sade and her have been friends. And I think she said Sade is a radio host and also a swimwear owner. And then Sade is with a football player named Chosen. I think he used to play for the Dolphins, but he's a free agent currently. And I said she's a very pretty girl. I love her hair. Yeah, that's pretty much all they got into. And then we meet up with MJ at the studio, and she's there with her friend's child, and she's talking about the situation where she got arrested. And she pretty much says that she got arrested because she was got into it with one of Kodak's baby mamas, and I don't know, something about a situation with a car. And she, I don't know, something about her being passive aggressive, and she pulled the girl out the car and just lost her temper. And I think she's up for battery in assault. And I understand her. I'm sure she does have a form of postpartum. She did have 2 kids, and MJ is very young. She's only 22, so I understand completely. But girl, you can't keep blaming this on postpartum. This is She said she had a very hard life, and I watched episode 3 too, so she kind of went into detail about it. It's more than just the postpartum. I think she need full off therapy and to just get out of this relationship, girl. No flocking is not that good. Kodak Black is not worth all this heartache. And it's not even just heartache, girl. He's causing you legal problems. Leave. What did Whitney on Salt Lake City do? You need to leave. This is not good. You have 2 kids. And with Kodak's history of RAPE allegations and how he be tweaked out and on live streams looking like he a junkie, you the only parent them kids got, in my opinion. And I even wrote, I said, you keep talking about postpartum. That's not gonna matter in court. Like, yes, if you get a judge that is sympathetic to that, but girl, that's not gonna matter in court, especially if you got a man the way this administration is going. Like, girl, they not gonna care about that. So, Sherelle meets up with Tyreek Hill's wife, Keita. Keita is pregnant, and Keita said that she is pregnant with Tyreek Hill's 10th child. 10th, 10th, 10th. Diaz. And the other 9 are not hers. Um, hmm. And I think she said they were on and off. They've known each other for 8 years, but she found out about three of the kids, I think, when they got married after 2021 or something. I'm just like, oh my Jesus Christ. Um, but if she like it, I love it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about football. I don't know if I'm sure he's a great player and can afford all of them, but I hope he continues because 10 kids is a lot. What my dog doing? Chat, what you doing? My dog's always doing something. I'm gonna ignore it. But Sherelle got on the treadmill at Hills, y'all. I'm like, wow, I need to be doing that. Um, and apparently Keita and Sade had an issue because both of their spouses, well, Sade isn't married yet, but both of their men played for the Dolphins. And apparently, Sade and a bunch of the other football people had a suite when it was negative 7 outside when the Dolphins were playing the Chiefs. And Keita was interviewing with Hard Knocks, and she didn't want, I don't know, she didn't want Hard Knocks to be in the suite to be interviewed. And apparently Keita was telling Sherelle about it. And I don't know, Sherelle is just involving herself in the situation. And Sherelle is saying that she thinks Sade is jealous because Tyreek is the bigger player and Tyreek is the best wide receiver. And I'm just like, I don't think this is that serious. I really don't. Um, Porsha is having an event for her lifestyle brand, Bad Bitch Good Mom. And she originally lives in Tampa. So this brand was made because of her postpartum after her second child. And she apparently Sade is coming. Let me pause this because review is gonna be so ghetto because I think someone playing music outside. I live like my apartment is like right towards the front, y'all. So if so, I hope UK y'all can't hear this music. And then he being a baby kid, so I don't know, but we will see. We gonna get through this. Okay, I already was talking about her bad bitch event. So apparently Sade is coming to the event, and they're like, Portia was like, poor Sade invited herself. I'm like, how she invite herself? They're like, well, it's supposed to be for like moms only, but I guess she's coming with Yes.Jules because they're friends. Um, so Sade shows up with her. MJ was there. And I like MJ, even though she's very young. You can tell, like I said, you can tell that girl has been through a lot. And she was just like, Sherelle, you a mean girl. And no lies told. But, and she was calling her a mean girl because she was just saying how Sherelle was because of the Stony situation. Um, and the Rick Ross tape and how they did listen to Stoney's side and was like, why would you make fun of that girl after being taken advantage of? Right. So, and Sherelle was just like, I just don't think that Stoney used her money responsibly. And I'm just like, even if she did, what does that have to do with you? Not a goddamn thing. Like Sherelle is so whack to me. And then she called her like a grandma. I'm just like, yeah, Sherelle, you are what, 36, 37? And also Alexis is there and Alexis is in her 40s. So what are you saying about your friend? Because I'm sure Stoney's in her 40s too. Like, I don't know. I don't like Sherelle. Um, What else? Oh yeah, Ashley brings up that she heard that Sade was being a mean girl because of the situation, the sweet situation with Keita. And then Sade was confused because she like, how you hear about this? What are you talking about? And then she like, how you hear about this? And they're like, Sherelle. And then Sade looking at Sherelle like, what do you mean? So Sade explained that she was like, I didn't explain anything through Sherelle. And they were like, well, we heard it through Keita. And then Sade was like, well, there was a group chat for the football wives or the girls. We all pitched in to get a suite because it was -7 outside, right? And she said that Keto was not in the group chat, but she had somebody in the group chat for her. And then the girl later said that Hard Knocks was filming and then asked her, and they were like, no. But then Hard Knocks ended up coming after, like way later, like after halftime, and they came and no one cared. So, and then they kind of brought up, and then Porsha was just like, oh well, when we brought this up at the event they had last night, with that the men were there on episode 1, she was like, well, your husband Chosen, that's Sade's fiance came. It seemed like he was coming to like defend you. And Sade was just like, that wasn't the situation. And I like Sade, she's not afraid of them at all. And Sherelle just interjects and was kind of like, bitch. And then Sade was like, bitch. And it was just getting real heated. But I just didn't understand how Sherelle was in this situation at all. And then Sade was just like, you the oldest woman here. And it just got real messy. And that was pretty much the episode. But and then Porsha pretty much says that she's pregnant again. And this is her third child. So congrats to her. So the last scene of this episode is that MJ meets up with her mom, who is white. She looked like she is straight out of My Wives. What was the My Wives song? The big, big day, the reason I'm alive. Like, I was like, Jesus. Who was a pimp? I'm like, whoa. She said her dad used to rob people and her mom was a pimp. They lived a very fast life. And she lived with her grandma. Her grandma passed away. Um, and yeah. And I don't know. Her mom, she was just like, yeah, I just came from the BET Awards. I'm like, who? All of y'all? I don't know. I was very confused. But then they kind of got on the topic of Kodak. And her mom pretty much got on the topic and she was just like, all men cheat and blah blah blah. It don't matter if you with a lawyer or doctor or whatever she said. And I'm like, that is just so problematic to tell your daughter that all men cheat. I think it's okay to tell your daughter to not trust men, or to be like, hey, don't trust men, make sure you build up the trust to for men, something like that. But to say all men cheat, because that's just going to tell your daughter that, oh, if a man cheats on you, to just stay, because all men are going to cheat and you just have to deal with it. Because that's what's wrong with her now. Like, she met Kodak when she was damn near 16, because if he was performing at her high school, and then that was her crush, and then she has 2 kids and she's 22 now, and he's cheating and got all these other baby moms, and she fighting for her life and busting out his windows and fighting him and fighting the baby moms, and confused now. Like, that's what's wrong with her now. I just feel so bad for her, because you can tell MJ is very smart, but you can tell she's very smart because she's had to go through so much. And she's been living a fast life, and it's sad because it's just like, she doesn't, I don't know, I feel really bad for her. And she's a very pretty girl. But I just said, I think that, and then MJ kind of went into, the mom was even saying, I see y'all getting married later in life. I'm like, to who? Kodak? The same man who was tweaked out on Kai Cenat's live? Like, who are we talking about? And I mean, I like Kodak Black. Like, I love no flocking, y'all. Like, during the pandemic, I was super fit. I used to do mostly hit workouts. No flocking on a hit workout is the best. But no, that man, who looks at Kodak Black and says, that's a husband right there. Nobody. That man doesn't look like he's a husband to anybody. And have y'all looked up his cases? Like, what are we talking about here? And you telling your daughter that? Are we? Have y'all seen that meme where that girl was like, "What? What?" Like, and I'm nobody's mom. Like, this is my son. This is all I'm mothering right now for the next 5 years. Well, I won't say 5, 4 years, hopefully. But this mom right here is something else. All right, let's go into episode 3. So This episode starts off with MJ and Stony riding around in like their car or whatever, and MJ just telling this Stony about the Porsha event and how and telling her that she was telling Sherelle that she's a mean girl. And it's funny that she's just telling Sherelle that she's a mean girl. Y'all, Sherelle is MJ's boss. I be forgetting that. What if somebody just okay, my bad, y'all. But yeah, I'm like, this is your boss and you calling her a mean girl. Like I really had to remember that. I'm like, that's not smart. But yeah, telling her she's a mean girl and it's also funny that she's calling her a mean girl um be just because she's so much younger than her. And it's also funny because it's like she calling Sherelle a mean girl, but she the one beating up baby mamas. What? But and Stony brings up that Sherelle has the issue with her and it's not the other way around, which is true. And this next scene is very cute. Ashley and Alexis. So they meet up at like this little cute bar, and Alexis was talking about dating. Child, hold on. Okay, so this next scene, like I said, they're at a bar or whatever, and how long she was married to Omari Stoudemire, because I think she said she's been with him since she was 19, and if she's in her 40s now, that's a really long time. But Ashley was saying how she kind of wants to move to another country for like 6 months, and Alexis was saying how she wants to stay. One time they moved to Jerusalem for like 6 months, but it was like a big culture shock to her kids. And I'm like, I bet, but that's the life though. They can just move to another country for 6 months and be all right financially and just come back like nothing happened. Luxury. But Alexis brings up being divorced and being in her early 40s. And she's just saying how different it is dating when she was versus now. She was just saying how men are just different and men, people were better at dating back when she was dating, better than now, just because men want to be catered to now. Men men want you to take them out for drinks now. Men want you to take them out dancing. Men want you to take them to brunch now. Men want you to take them to the movies now. Like it's really different. But she has like some guy come by. Ashley has like some guy come by and surprise her. It's kind of like a surprise date. It was really cute. Like, oh, he's just in the neighborhood. I think his name was Jonathan. But so she had him come by and they like all ate and stuff. And Alexis was like, oh, I'm a part owner in like a black owned cannabis farm. And it was really cute. They got to know each other. And then he was like, can I take you out for a second date? So it was really cute. Um, all right. So Stony and Yes Jules meet up at like a club bar. And Ashley and then Philip, her husband, and Alexis meet up, and then Sherelle and Ocho were there too, and MJ. And I'm like, this is obviously a scene. Why are y'all acting like this wasn't set up? Because like since Stony and Yes Jules were at one table, they were, and then the other people walked in. Stony was like, they're not gonna sit over with us, and they were at a totally different table. I'm like, why don't y'all just all sit together, being goofy? But Yes Jules went over there first, and then Stony came over. So it was kind of awkward because they all were talking about kids because Portia's pregnant. And then Sherelle went over and was like, do y'all want kids? And Ashley went, do you want another kid? And Ashley was like, no. Um, and then Erica, Stoney's friend, shows up. So they all were having a good time doing shots and stuff. So Erica, which is MJ, I don't know if she was MJ's friend or Stoney's friend. I think she's Stoney's friend, but they're at a different table. So it's Stoney's friend, MJ, and this guy, and they're all talking about, and then Yes Jules at the other table. So Erica was like, "So the white bitch," and I was like, "Ooh." Um, and then she was bringing up like Yes Jules antics from back in the day, and I mean Yes Jules is being cool, but I'm not surprised. But it got kind of awkward though, because there was like no drama going on. But she brought up her antics, and it's Stony like, what antics? I'm like, y'all know what she did. I hate when they were acting like stupid about it. And then MJ was like, what do y'all? MJ may not know about it because she's like 22. Because I think this happened back in like 20, what, 2016, 2017. Because I remember it when I was like maybe in my like junior year of college or like sophomore year. But Jules keeps hearing her name because she's just at the like the next table over. So Jules comes over, and Erica brought up the situation, and I kind of lost track of the words, but she was just like, "Are you culture vulture or something?" And or are you racist? And Jules, one thing about her, she's very smart. Like she knows, she's just like, who's racist or who's a culture vulture. Now I didn't agree. Of course, Jules' ignorant self like, what do you do for your culture? I'm like, girl, and it just got out of hand. Like, I can't tell who. I think Erica put her fingers up first, which is, I'm like, girl, what are you going to expect? So Erica put her fingers up first, and Jules, it just got violent. Um, and I even said, I was just like, um, I understand how it got physical. So the next day, Ashley, Sherelle, and Alexis meet up to have drinks, like by a pool. And they said Jules was the aggressor in the situation. When I'm like, that girl did put her fingers up in Jules' face. She did. Like, she really did. And I'm like, and they kind of started that. Why did you call Jules? Why did y'all even put Jules, Yes Jules, on this show? And I don't like Yes Jules. I think she's a culture vulture. But one thing about that girl, she's going to talk back to you. She's going to. Like, why would y'all even put her on this show? Like, y'all wanted drama. So, Sherelle says she feels bad because she was harder on Stony than Jules. And I'm like, why is that, Sherelle? Why were you harder on Stony than Jules? When yes, Jules has a obvious history. Shut up, Sherelle. And then she was just like, yeah, yes, Jules was mad at all of us for not contacting her after the situation, and was like, me bringing up kids triggered her, and I don't know why. And they're like, why? And she's like, I don't know why. And then it kind of flashes back to like an old situation when Jules had these braids and was just like, and then bringing up like her previous antics and her explaining it, and the braids were yuck. But and it just goes back. I'm like, why did y'all put her on this show? Like, was it just producers? Like, y'all couldn't find, because I mean, of course, y'all aren't going by the previous WAGs criteria. Y'all couldn't find another real estate agent or a athlete's wife or girlfriend for this show, like, or rapper girlfriend, like in Miami. But Ashley brings up that they know, um and then Porsha talked about the situation with Yes Jules, and I'm just like, that wasn't really important. So Sade and Yes Jules meet up to talk about the situation at the Versace mansion. I'm like, okay. They had breakfast. So Sade apparently just came from vacation. So apparently, Yes Jules just had an abort mission. I don't want to say the word. I don't want any trigger words. Um, when that all when they all went out. So like that same day, she had that kind of procedure. So and she said that Sherelle knew that she had that done. So she's like, so if Sherelle knew I had that done that day, why would she ask me, do I want more kids? Which is messed up. If Sherelle knew that, that's extremely messed up. And it's also like, why is Sherelle acting like she didn't know what was happening? Um, and I said that's very insensitive. Um, and here's what I didn't like about Sade. Sade was like, I don't think that Jules is a culture vulture. And I'm like, girl, and I understand if that's your friend, That's your friend. I mean, of course, her previous antics. If you know that girl on a personal level and y'all are cool, I'm sure Jules is a good person and a cool person one on one. But her previous antics were a horrible, and she was a culture vulture before. I can't ignore her previous antics, right? So we not going to ignore that happened. So Sade, I don't agree with you on that, girl, but I like you. You and Alexis are my favorites. But yeah. So that's all I pretty much have for episodes 2 and 3. That big situation happened in the fight. And I don't like that they brought Yes Jules on this show to do all of this when y'all knew or what were going to happen. And it seems like y'all brought her on this show just to have a situation and y'all wanted clout, to me personally. But yeah. But all right. I hope I can have a review out for episodes 3 and 4. Episodes 4 and 5 tomorrow. And please like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I did reach my goal of 10 subscribers this week, so I'm so happy about that. Hopefully by next week I can make it to 20. So yeah, I'm happy about that.